Good morning. I don't know if I'm live or not. I couldn't, it's, I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to try it and see. The way I've always done it before didn't work this time. So hopefully I'm live. I don't know if I am or not. We'll see. I would love it if I could get, oh, it says 2 watching, so maybe there are other people in here. Okay, hopefully this worked. Whew. I was like, the way I've always done it didn't work, and I couldn't figure out why. I'm getting my tea. I couldn't get it. I didn't know why. So if you're here, say hello and tell me where you're from. Those of you who don't know me, yay, Renee, I'm live. I didn't know if I was or not. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Bern, North Carolina, and my name is Robbie Rabala, and I'm here to share some ideas with you. I love playing with sketches. I'm a very experimental stamper. I do lots of things. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But I find sketches help me a lot if I'm struggling with what to do. So I thought it would be fun today to take a sketch and show you how you can go about breaking it down, some changes you can make if you need to, because sometimes it just doesn't work. You know, you can't get it to work. So that's what my goal is today, is to show you some of those ideas. Excuse me, it got very chilly last night. I actually turned my heat on because I was freezing. It was like 66 in the house, way too cold for me. It has been around 68 at night, but then it'll warm up during the day. So I'll be probably turning the heat off later today, but that's fine. At least I have heat, you know, that I can turn on. Not everybody at this point after the hurricane, not everybody even has a house. So there were some well-known demonstrators who lost their house. And so right now, that's the least of their worries, is their business. So, and I am a member of a group of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. This is just for the US, and it's called Sudden Response. And what we do is, when a fellow demonstrator has a disaster, a house fire, a flood, and they lose
a lot of their supplies for business. Most of them that we help have lost everything. And Stampin' Up! Will give them a partial kit. You know, they'll replace like key items that they need to keep their business going. Well, we come in and we purchase in their name under a host code so that they get all the host rewards. We purchase stamp sets, we purchase card stock, whatever they feel they need, we do for them. Ink pads, all of that, so that they can get their business back up and running. This one's going to be hard because, like I said, I know that there is at least one well-known demonstrator who lost her house. How many others? I have no clue. I haven't seen, you know, all the ins and outs, and we do know that some of them lost their things. So we're there ready when they are, because it'll be months before some of them are ready to do anything. So, you know, that's another thing that takes up my time is I'm an admin on the group and I approve all the members. So, you know, you have to prove you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So if you want to join us and help out, make sure you're in the US and make sure you answer the questions, because I have to verify you're a demo. We don't let anybody in who's not a demo. So with that, it's about time to get started. I hope you have a beverage of choice. I know I'm earlier, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to take one more sip and then we'll get started. I'm going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to pull over my camera and I will spotlight it for everybody. Okay, so there we have it. Now let me take a few minutes to kind of get it straight. I thought I had it straight, but sometimes when you move it, it doesn't. Okay, so I have a ton of sketch websites that I check out. So this is one of them. It's Sketch Saturday. And I saw this one and I thought, and I got to thinking about it. And I thought, ooh. So there were some things that I thought that I could use to show you how to do. When I saw this, I thought Eden's Garden, and I hadn't played with it for a while. So I'm going to use Eden's Garden, and I'm going to move that out of the way because I need the space. I'm going to use this image, and this has a sentiment down here. Just because it has that element doesn't mean you have to use it. I oftentimes don't put sentiments on my cards because then I can use it any way I want. So I'm going to use this image, and I haven't decided, I have two options. With that stamp set, there's Eden's Garden, and there's this that's a frame. But you don't have to use it as a frame. I took this, there's a piece still stuck in it, and I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I'm trying to think where this may have come from. It's one of the pieces. It could be off the side. Ah, there it is. So it's a piece here. So sometimes I'll cut out the whole thing and then I'll cut it up. So if you're looking for a element, you know, and that's what I was thinking for this, or just a swirl that you want to put on there, cut up your dies, you know, these dies. You don't have to use them that way. I love cutting them up and using them in a variety of ways. Okay, now this stamp set is all one image, and it's like, I don't want to use it as all one image. So when that happens, I pull out I'm going to move that out of the way while I do this. I pull out my stamp set and my sponge dauber, and I go in and I add color where I want it with my sponge dauber. And it's okay if it overlaps. I'm adding a second layer. I don't know how dark this is. All right, so there's that. The paper that I'm using had yellow in it, which was daffodil. So I thought, oh, well, those would be cute in daffodil. So I'm going to ink that up with daffodil. And another hint for you, when you stamp, you usually stamp in the middle. Well, the edges have a lot of ink. So when you do your sponge, use your sponge dauber, use the edges of your ink pad to kind of spread that, to get that ink, because the center could be very light. All right. And now I'm going to take, oops, wrong thing. I'm going to do my leaves, and I have Old Olive for that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do it, do all my leaves, and I'm going to turn my stamp. Right. I think I might have to go over these again. It doesn't look like there's ink on it, but you never know. So I'll do them again. And the advantage to this is if there are some that are leaves that are not the same color, it just adds some interest. All right, so let's see if I've got enough ink on there. Let me close this up before I get it on something. Same thing with my other one. All right, so I have a piece of paper here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this on here, and I've kind of cut it to the size I need. I am going to press because I don't have a mat underneath, and I want to make sure the middle stamps. There we go. Oh, I caught an edge. That's all right. All right, so there's what I have. Let me see if my eraser will take that out. I have a sand eraser. Ooh, it's working. And it just kind of takes the top layer off. I got rid of most of it, so that works. And I got those on Amazon. All right, so there's my image. Now it's time for the card. I use Blackberry Bliss, so I thought it would be pretty to put this on a Blackberry Bliss card base. So I'm in the US, so I have my normal 4.5 by, it's actually 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 card base. All right, I'm gonna, if your card won't lay flat, better. Use your bone folder on both sides. Okay, there. And since if it's off just a little bit in your scoring, like this one, use the longer side as the front. In the catalog, they have a Design a Daydream 12 by 12 designer series paper. This is a host reward. So I found this pattern. Now, this paper that went with this, that came out several years ago, was all green, because the intent was you stamp that in a green. Well, I like color, so I went looking and I saw this one, and I thought this flower was very close to this. So this is the paper I'm going to use for it. And this is like 2 inches by 5.5. Remember, if you use meters or centimeters, not meters, woo, that would be a huge card. If you use centimeters, adapt and use the ones that fit your card. And look at what you have. You may have a stamp set, not stamp set, a pattern paper that will go with it. If you have any of the collections by colors paper that have just a background, like they have the neutrals, the brights, the in colors, a piece of that would work down here also. Now I have this on here, and I debated because I didn't know. So I didn't pull out paper, but once I put that on there, it needs something. And I don't know which color. So I'm going to pull out both colors and we'll see which one works. All right. So I have this that I could put on like so. Or I have, oh, that wouldn't work, the yellows. Let me see which one I like better. I think I like the green, so I'm going to use the green. All right, and I'm going to take my trimmer and I'll cut this down to the size I need. Now, I didn't tell you this piece because the piece I originally started with, I ended up cutting down because it was too big. So this is 2.5 by 3 3/4. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this. So 2.5, so I'm going to go 2 5/8. I'm just giving it 1/8 of an inch, little tiny border. And this one was, what was it, 3 1/2, 3 1/4. I got more on this side. This is a little bit past 3 1/4. That's the other thing you can do. You can trim off that little extra piece. So it's 3 1/4. So I'm going to go to 3 3/8. All right. And now I have my layer. And this is going to go on like so. All right, we're going to get that on. And then I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. Okay, so I've got this. And I'm not done because I've got to address that one other piece. So just a little bit of a border is just enough to set it off from the white, which is a good thing. All right, let me get my backs out, or my dimensionals, not my backs. Right, I'm just going to go straight on down for the ones I've cut. And I put my finger in there. Look at that. See, this is the one thing that happens if, and I've got to learn to not put my finger on there, to use my use the backing to help it so I don't. Right, one more. Just stick that one back on. So I'm just cutting them in half, which is what I usually do. All right, and this one, and then I'll stick that. I have to tell you a story. I had my nails done last week, I think it was, and I came home, and I'm not one to sit. I don't like sitting. So I was sitting downstairs being the good girl, and I said, oh, they're dry enough. I'm going to go up into my studio and play. Well, I got a glue dot stuck on the back. I need to take this off and do it. I got a glue dot stuck on the back of this one. So I thought, all right, I'll just peel it off. Well, it peeled off all the nail polish. So I had to redo that nail. Okay. I'm going to do this way because it looks the right way for me. All right. So I've got that. So far, mine looks like that, but I haven't addressed this. Now, I had this piece that I thought would work, and I went, it's kind of lost. But then it hit me. Because it has a swirl doesn't mean you have to use a swirl. And I thought I will use some of this metallic ribbon. I love this ribbon. So I'm just going to tie a knot. I could do a bow, but I think I'm going to do a knot, and I'm going to put it right about there and have it go both ways. So I'm going to get my ribbon scissors, and I will cut this side off. Oops, missed a piece. And once I get it down, I will take and trim it if I need to some more. Ooh. Maybe I'll go this way because there's more space. I think I'm going to put it on at an angle. See, that's another thing. Because the element is where it is, doesn't mean you can't move it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on the side. I think it'll look better on the side. All right, so I'm going to stick it right there. And then that way I don't have to trim this piece, and I only have to trim some here. And I'm just going to take a guess about the length. Whoops, not enough. I take off a little bit at a time because it's easy to cut it off, but you can't put it back on if you go too far. All right. Got all these little tiny pieces. And I'm going to leave it like that. So there is my idea for this sketch. I'm going to put it up here like so, so you can see them side to side. If you want to add some embellishments, some gems, the Festive Pearls has some beautiful silver ones, and I'll pull it out. That would look really nice on there. So I'll add some pearls or gems. Well, they are pearls, they say. I love these. They're all the same size. They're all small. So perfect for your card. There it is. And all my inspiration came from this sketch. So keep in mind that because a sketch is done a certain way, doesn't mean you can't change the elements. I do that a lot because maybe I have a stamp set I want to use and it doesn't work with the sketch. So next time you're struggling, go into your computer and Google card sketches. A ton will pop up and you can see all different ideas and you can create your card from there. It gives you a starting point. They had an oval. I used a square. I'm a rectangle. I probably could have cut that down more and it wouldn't have been so prominent. But look at your paper and your stamp sets. They go, but they're not from the same collection. So I mix and match all the time because I think it's important to do that. All right, with that, I'm going to get ready and come back to my face. So give me a moment to get it back to my face. I will get this out of the way. Now, here's my question of the day. Or I should say question of the video. Do you or have you ever done a card sketch? Let me know in the comments below and tell me, yes, I've done card sketches. No, I haven't. But let's find out how many do card sketches. You know I do. So I'm hoping a lot of my viewers will say, oh yeah, I use card sketches, love them. So, all right, ladies, I'm going to get ready and go and let you get on with your day. And thanks for stopping in and visiting. I'm sorry I had to go early, but a conference call got scheduled and I didn't have a choice. So with that, have a great day. If it's cold where you are, stay warm. If it's warm where you are, stay cool. Because I know I have visitors or watchers from Australia and we're getting cold, they're getting warm. So it's one of those things. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.